Well, he's Snoop, and I'm Sean, and we're the Unnecessary Gentlemen. We talk about those movies, those comics, those video games. We're going to be talking a lot about that this episode. I'm so freaking excited. Snoop, how the heck are you?
Well, I was a little tired, but you really put a pep in my step today, Sean.
Good.
So, I'm all on board. Yeah, as Sean said, we're going to be talking about movies, comics, TV, but really about all those video games that I know Sean loves.
I'm a huge gamer.
He's playing his Atari every other day.
So many Ataris, so many PlayStations, so many GameCubes.
Maybe even a Microsoft or two.
My house is built out of GameCubes. The builder was really confused when I requested that, but I was like, you know what? I can hire the next guy.
It's a good call in the end. Very sturdy house. Mm-hmm. Well, before we do anything, Sean, as always, we should probably get into some fresh newsy news. So
yeah, you want me to throw one at you?
Well, Sean, I mean, you sound pretty excited, so I assume you have a lot of exciting news to talk about.
Well, it looks like Jessica Chastain is going to be a major villain in X-Men, the Dark Phoenix. Looks like she'll be playing Lilandra.
Yeah, it was she's like a Shi'ar?
Yeah, she's royalty? The head of the Shi'ar Empire. And they are an alien race who, they're not a fan of the whole Phoenix Force. They're just like, you know what, that's not for me. It's a bad look this season. Phoenix Force is out, so they want to destroy it.
Yeah, and I mean, people who read comics know that the Phoenix Force is just kind of like this alien power that possesses Jean Grey. But that's never really been in the movies up till this point, I guess, because I think she just already kind of had it as part of her mutation, right?
Yeah. There's been literally no sign of aliens in this universe.
Yeah, which is odd. I guess that didn't fit into their black leather destroying bridges world they set up in all the other movies. But it sounds like they're going to really just dive into it in this one. Give us a little something different. Because the Shi'ar, those are the aliens that I think he told me they wanted to use them in the Avengers, but they didn't know.
No, that was the Kree.
Oh, that's the Kree. Okay, yeah. So what makes the Shi'ar different from the Kree and the Skrulls and all those others?
They have feathers on their head, Snoop.
Oh, that's fun.
And Lilandra and Professor X, they hook up sometimes, you know.
Huh.
Professor X is like, I can't use my legs. You got feathers in your head. We all got problems.
Let's make this work, though. Let's talk it over. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely. We got a lot of X-Men Dark Phoenix news this week, actually. They found their director as well, Simon Kinberg, who's been a longtime producer and writer for these X-Men films. How do you feel about that?
You know, X-Men movies, who knows if they're going to be good or not? I certainly don't. Yeah, you think they lost you, they'll give you an Apocalypse, you're like, you know what, I don't want these movies anymore. And then they'll give you a Logan, and I don't know what to think.
Yeah, the thing is, though, like, you know, this is the one of 3 X-Men films we're going to get next year. We're getting Dark Phoenix, New Mutants, and I guess Deadpool 2 is technically. Yeah, that's what it is. But this is the one I'm kind of most worried about, just because it's a lot of the same, like, creative team that gave us, like, Apocalypse, and then, you know, more responsible for your Wolverine origins and your X3s. I don't know if I would have picked Simon Kinberg for this, because he's kind of been... My biggest complaint about Apocalypse is it's more of the same early X-Men films, and that doesn't really work anymore. So that's what I'm afraid we're going to see with this project, with him being involved.
Yeah.
Because I think Bryan Singer's still on as a producer.
Who knows? They shot him out of a cannon. Maybe he fell back down into the ground onto a movie studio lot. I do think... What does worry me, considering, you know, how much they want to go into the Dark Phoenix saga, there's a lot of explosions in that story, a lot of spaceships crashing about, and I could see them making the same mistake they did with Apocalypse there, where it's just a huge CGI-heavy ending.
Yeah, just a lot of metal shards and just generic stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what really worked well for Logan, especially in its action sequences. It felt pretty brutal and grounded, and...
Just guys stabbing each other in the woods.
Guys stabbing the same guy. It's just so good. I love that movie. But I want this to be great, certainly. You know, the Dark Phoenix saga is the best X-Men story. So, in my opinion.
It's all right.
I mean,
It's good.
Arguably, like, most people would agree that, like, it's definitely on up there.
Yeah.
So I want to see it done right. You know, this is already our second attempt, but we'll see. As long as they break it up into not just one movie, that would be a huge mistake.
Well, if they're doing, I mean, they touched on Phoenix a little bit in Apocalypse, but
yeah, but they didn't even really explain it.
I'm saying if they're just diving right into the Dark Phoenix before doing the Phoenix saga, they're two separate stories.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll see. We're gonna keep up with it. You got any more news?
Old Tom Holland's been on that Twitter.
He loves going on that Twitter.
He
loves dancing around on shows. Just what a fun guy.
Old Thomas Holland. He's there's been some fear that after Spider-Man: Homecoming 2, Sony's gonna snatch it back up. And Tom Holland, he was like, no, there's gonna be a trilogy of these movies. So yeah.
He said, don't worry, I'm here to stay. I'll look 18 for a little longer, just for you. What a nice guy. Yeah, I did see that, actually. But, I mean, just because there's 3 of those movies doesn't necessarily mean that Disney will be involved for all of them.
No, he did mention it's going to be a good opportunity to see Peter Parker grow up, which we've never seen in any Spider-Man incarnation, have we, Snoop? Oh, that's literally all of them? Oh, okay.
Oh, no. What movie do you think we'll get to see his uncle die? We need that.
I want like a little bit of a flashback in each movie.
And it's a different actor each time.
Yes.
Which, we're going to go see this new one soon.
It'd be cool if they did one like every 2 years for just the next 2 decades, and you actually do get to see him go through college and early adulthood. I cannot talk, Snoop. And
drink some water, man.
It's far away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like a foot, but that's pretty far for me.
I mean, you're on a roll anyway, so.
But, see him have that little kid, Mary Jane.
And then see that one storyline where they just rip it all away.
Please do that.
Yeah, I actually, I would love to see that, but who is going to be in charge of those movies is what worries me.
Oh, it's Amy Pascal, don't you worry.
Yeah, can we talk, did you see that? This video that came out today?
Yeah, I think
basically,
fill me in.
Yeah, so basically, I guess they're promoting, was it Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal, who, she's like one of the former CEOs of Sony, and now she's just kind of on as like a creative producer or something. I don't know what that woman is, but yeah, they're, I guess, promoting Homecoming since it's about to come out in the next couple weeks, and everyone's asking about those Venom movies. Kevin Feige last week said that it's definitely not involved in the MCU. And there's an interview today with them, I guess, asking about the Venom movie. And she's basically saying, like, yes, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is definitely a part of this universe. And they're like, well, can we expect to see him there? And she's just like, it's a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole time she's saying all this stuff, Kevin Feige's just... He didn't say a single word. He's just kind of like, he had his poker face on, but I don't know. It was weird. She's just spouting off all this stuff to promote this Venom movie, and we've had Kevin Feige the last few days saying the complete opposite. So,
well, this is the same woman who just said that after Homecoming 2, Sony might just take Spider-Man back. And that was just contradicted. I honestly think she's just, because she's not in charge of anything.
No.
I think she just kind of says stuff and hopes for the best.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely still has a higher position
than you.
Well, certainly, and I'm fine with that because I don't know if I want to be at Sony, but yeah, it's very odd, because you have these two companies, and obviously they want to do what's best for them. Sony didn't want to have to make this deal with Marvel. It's obvious, and that's why you have those kind of like those comments where we're doing our own Venom movie and our own Black Cat movie. Go see it, but they know people won't see it unless Spider-Man's involved. So I guess that's why she's kind of just saying it. But I don't know. I want this deal, honestly. Like, this deal's been more trouble than it's worth to me. I would just want Marvel to throw around some of that money they have and just buy him back. But I don't. Maybe it's just Sony is refusing, or maybe they're just asking for an insane amount of money that even Disney doesn't want to give up. I don't like.
Well, financially, it's not necessarily in Marvel's best interest to buy him back.
Yeah, because they get the merchandising rights, and that's all they want.
They own literally every part of Spider-Man except for the movie rights.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure they'd love to have the movie rights back, but I don't think they necessarily want to sink $1 billion into buying him back.
I bet Feige would do it.
Well, it would take, I don't know how many years to make that money, like how many movies to make that money back, because, you give a Spider-Man movie a $200 million budget, it makes $700 million, you maybe get $150 million out of that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to make that billion back.
Yeah, I guess it's not like a Star Wars where you make all that money back in like the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the brand's still kind of recovering after what Sony did to it these last 10 years. But I don't know. I don't think she needs to be saying those kind of things. And but I also think that there doesn't need to be a solo Venom movie. So what do I know?
You know what you should know?
What's that?
I'm going to mess this name up. But Shioli Kutsuna
Nailed it.
Is going to be in Deadpool 2.
Really?
Nobody knows who she's playing, but she'll be there. So look out for Shioli Kutsuna.
What's she been in, do you know? Does it say?
I do not.
Huh. Well, it's always good to get some Deadpool news. They actually posted a picture. It's like the first set image, and he's just laying down in front of the X-Mansion. Maybe she'll be in X-Men. Maybe they got another one in the mansion now. They could afford another one.
I'm just looking at your computer screensaver, Snoop. It's got a lot of nature photos.
Took all those photos, Sean.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
But I could have.
He's a liar, folks.
I mean well, though. Oh, so many noises.
He's also an alcoholic.
Speaking of Fox properties, we talk about those a lot. We got more New Mutants casting. If you'd like to hear it, Sean.
Oh, I'm game for it, Snoop. I'm so ready.
Well, you know that show Stranger Things that everybody loved.
I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good. It's coming back later this year. Well, one of the actors, Charlie Heaton, he played the older brother of the kid who went missing.
Okay.
He was just cast as a Cannonball in New Mutants.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I don't know a lot about that character, but sounds like he can maybe hit someone like a cannonball.
Basically his powers are he can force his entire bodily mass at super high speeds through the air into something, and it doesn't hurt him, but hurts whatever he hits.
Yeah, it sounds like he's flexible enough to do that just by seeing him in Stranger Things. Gets in a tree or two. But I'm cool with that. I like that guy in Stranger Things. I thought, he played that role really well. Plus, I would assume that's more or less it. I don't know how many more mutants they would want to add to this, because we already got Sunspot, we already got Wolfsbane and Moonstar, Magic. I think there's another one in there I'm forgetting about. So yeah, that's a pretty solid lineup already, and I like that it's not. We've had Sunspot before, but he's never really been, front and center in any of these X-Men films. I like that these are all New Mutants for the most part that we get to see. Oh, huh.
Danny Elfman is going to be the composer of Justice League, Snoop.
Yeah, I don't know how you seem a little indifferent about this news. I'm fine with it. Because they kicked out that one guy. His name's Junkie XL.
Yeah, you gotta love a Danny Elfman theme. Hey, Batman, we gotta get Darkseid. Do, 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 do.
Get a xylophone in Justice League, maybe. Danny Elfman can do it. But, I mean, he's no stranger to DC films. He was on Batman 89. He came up with that sweet theme that carried over into the animated series.
Yeah.
You like that theme? It's so good.
It's good. No. That's the X-Men theme.
He maybe did that too. No kidding. But, yeah, I'm fine with it. It is kind of odd that they would just, because this was Joss Whedon's call after Snyder left to get this guy in. So I guess maybe he just didn't like Junkie XL. Which the thing is about is the soundtracks in Batman vs. Superman is, besides the Wonder Woman theme, you don't really, everything else feels kind of generic I think did they finish up their reshoots right now? Or are they still doing it?
They probably still
doing a few. Yeah, they got to get that movie out soon, man. That's crazy. But I have faith in Joss Whedon. Let's see. Got any more news for you? Probably not.
Well, just that,
there wasn't a lot of news this week. Not a lot of newsy news for us.
Well, you do have, Danai Gurira's character from Black Panther's also going to be in Infinity War, so there's that. Don't know much about what her role is going to be in Black Panther, so can't speculate too much. But
that actress is the one who plays Michonne on The Walking Dead? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, I think...
That really boring show with zombies.
But she's got a cool sword in it, so maybe she'll have something to do with a sword in Black Panther. Yeah, I don't really know. I assume she'll just be kind of like another guard, kind of like the one we saw in Civil War. Because I know Lupita Nyong'o is in this movie in Black Panther, and she's going to play the love interest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing about this Black Panther stuff is, besides the actual, character of Black Panther played by Chadwick Boseman, and then Andy Serkis playing Claw, and then Michael B. Jordan playing Killmonger. I don't know about anything else about these characters, because they haven't really even said anything. But I'm fine with it. There's a lot of people in that movie, Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, everybody.
I think an interview with Scarlett Johansson, she said something like, there's like 30 people in one scene, like notable people in one scene that she filmed. That's crazy. This would just be like a really long Avengers Assemble shot, like in the first one, but with just 30 people.
They just keep calling names.
They maybe forget one, maybe forget Ant-Man. She's like, I'm here too.
Oh, yeah. Get over here. I said over there. Fine. Just go.
Are you going to be really big or really small this time?
You gonna do neither? What good are you?
I can't wait for that movie, though.
Yeah.
That'll be...
Less than a year.
The Avengers was like kind of the biggest film in a while, like cinema-wise. That had never been done before. I feel like that's kind of what this is going to be. To have all of these characters that we've all been watching. We've already seen some of them team up, like the Avengers, and then you had the Guardians over there.
Well, you have, never in the history of cinema have you had something like this where it's been 10 years building up to something.
Yeah, in a cinematic universe. The cinematic universe has been done before, but not to this scale, certainly. So, yeah. What a time to be alive, Sean.
Oh, yeah, let's stay alive for a good...
at least until the movie comes out, yeah.
10 more months or so.
After that, I'm out. You can't... No more surprises after that.
You can't stop me.
I'm gone the second Sony takes back Spider-Man. I know it's over after that. There's a little quick snippet of news. Nothing really big, but Westworld Season 2 starts filming.
Okay.
In July.
This is one of the few television shows you've beat me on, Snoop. I still need to finish it.
It's so good.
I will. I'm waiting for it to come out on DVD.
I'm telling you, if they, because Game of Thrones is wrapping up and there's talk of the spinoffs and everything, but who knows where that'll go. But if they do this right, this could be, that could be their next Game of Thrones,
okay.
like the popularity. It's a show that the whole season, first season's great. I am interested to see where they can take it and, if they're going to mess anything up. But Jonathan Nolan writes for it. He's a big producer on this show. Christopher Nolan's brother, who writes a lot of his films with him. And he's great. So I'm keen to see this season, or this next season. It's great. Finish it, Sean. Jeez.
Well, like I said, I'm waiting for it to come on DVD, and I can just binge it all at once.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't even come out yet, because the season ended, I guess, back in February or March. It'll probably be rolled out around Christmas time. You can get a sweet Black Friday deal on it.
I'll be there.
On Thursday, because that's when it happens now. But that's all the news I got, unless you got something else to add.
Negative.
Negative?
All right, I'm excited for this next part.
Yeah, I am too, actually. So, as we mentioned at the beginning, got a lot of video game news coming out. A lot to talk about, Sean. E3 happened last week. Do you know what E3 stands for, Sean?
Entertainment times 3.
Close. It's Wait, now I don't remember it. Electronic Entertainment Expo. There's 3 E's. It's exciting, but it's the biggest...
E cubed. I love E cubed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the biggest gaming trade show.
Oh, you don't have to tell
year,
me.
At least in the U.S. I guess the year. I don't know. It's the only one I know about besides like PAX. But yeah, we had all the greats there, Sean.
Oh, so many.
We had all those companies. We had Sony there.
So who could forget?
You know, they got to have a hand in everything. We had Microsoft.
Oh, they had such a great panel.
And, of course, Nintendo. The big three. The whole three.
Wouldn't it be EQ'd without Nintendo?
That's right. And then, of course, you had, like, your bigger developers for those companies, like Bethesda, and Ubisoft was there. So, yeah, and EA as well. They all had their press conferences. And then people got out on the show floor, got a little taste of what's to come in the next year or so. So, Sean, I know you watched every single one of these trailers.
So many.
And by that I mean you watched the ones I showed you.
Barely.
I mean, you looked the other way a lot as soon as I started the videos, but I know you heard them. Overall, as a person who doesn't...
In case it's not obvious yet, I do not play video games.
Well, anyone who listens to this show knows you don't listen to or you don't care about video games. But
you do, so in the interest of being a somewhat decent friend, I'm going to let you have your fun.
Well, it's not just about me, Sean. It's about the listeners. You know, we've had a lot of people, friends of the show, tell us that other people who listen say we don't talk about video games enough.
And by that, you mean that one time? Well,
I said at least twice. But the point is, figured we can at least just make a whole episode about it. And that should keep them busy for a little bit, Sean, just for you. Until next E3.
Can't wait.
But yeah, basically, as someone who, you know, doesn't care about video games, you know a little bit about the show from what I told you. Basically, it's all these companies come in and announce what's coming out or what they're, you know, trying to do. And it's kind of exciting. Like, a lot of it's just trailers.
So it's Comic-Con for gamers.
In a way, the press conferences are really the meat of it all. That's kind of where, like I said, the developers and the companies announce projects we know have either been leaked or, you know, been confirmed by them before in the past and kind of where they're at on it. And then after that, you know, 3 days, reviewers get to go on the show floor, wait in line, and play play about like 30 minutes of the game. And for me, even I'm a pretty casual gamer, you know, so that wouldn't necessarily appeal to me to only play 30 minutes of it, but some people like live for that. This was the first year that E3 was open to the public. You could buy tickets and actually go there, and that didn't go as well as I think that they wanted it to. A lot of people complained about having to wait too long and then not even getting to play at all, but, you know, I'm sure the people that did get to play those games, if they went, that was good enough for them just to have a taste of what's going to come out in the next year. And, you know, maybe even decide to get a console that they didn't have, but they got to play this game.
Any new consoles announced there?
Actually, yes. We talked about it a little bit last week. Microsoft has been working on Project Scorpio is the name they had for it. The official name now is Xbox One X.
Wow.
Now, I believe, I don't know for sure, but I think there's more than one X in that whole title, but...
Should have added another X, and then I would have been interested. A wink. Look, I'm going on Amazon right now, pre-ordering the Xbox X1.
It is not pulling up in the search engine.
It's in my basket.
Well, I hope you got a solid $4.99 to lay down on that bad boy.
Do I? Only $4.99. That is a bargain.
Yeah, that's not a bargain. Microsoft, I think every year people kind of talk about a winner and loser of E3. I believe all the companies are winners, and I believe that we're all losers because we're the ones giving them money. But I guess the weakest of the conferences between the big three companies, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, Microsoft probably lost because this was a console they've been hyping up, and it seems like they kind of put a lot of hope on because their last console didn't do well. You know, Sony sells way more PlayStation 4s than Xbox sells Xbox Ones. So they kind of, you know, they came out with this console, which is, it's going to be the most powerful gaming console ever made. The problem is there's really no reason to go to it because any of the games that are going to be out on it, you can get on PlayStation or PC. And the thing is, it's going to have great graphics. Like, it's going to be, 4K, 60 frames per second, all, steady. That's really great. But a lot of people who go in for that kind of stuff, they already have a PC because they can do that already. You can upgrade your PC as parts come out, new graphics cards, whatever, and get those looks and have a way bigger library of games. So, and for $4.99, that is not cheap. Like, I would not have priced it at that, especially if you want to sell units, because this is just it's just a more powerful version of the console they already have. So people already have an Xbox One. I don't imagine they would want to fork out another $500 to get a slightly better console. It's one of those things that they, that's the way they decide to go. Maybe if they kind of work towards getting more exclusive games, like just for Xbox, that might help them later down the road. But I'm interested to see. This comes out in November, so I'm interested to see kind of what the numbers are later down the road and what their next move is going to be. Because if this blows up in their face, this could really hurt them as a gaming company.
Well, I wouldn't want that, Snoop.
I know you don't, Sean. That's why you're ordering 2 right now.
I'd order 2 more.
Oh, if you get 5, shipping's free.
Finally. I'd be losing money if I didn't get free shipping.
Exactly. So, Sean, I guess we can kind of just go through, just pick some of the titles that we both saw, ones I found interesting, ones you wouldn't mind talking about, and just kind of, you can ask me any questions you might have. Give me any thoughts that you had.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Snoop, and I'm not trying to be funny here. I've forgotten every single one of these games you showed me last night except for one.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that one then.
It was Spider-Man something or other.
Yeah, see, I figured that you would at least want to talk about that for a second. So, this is a Sony exclusive game. It's only going to be on the PlayStation 4, Sean. So, luckily, you'll be able to play it when I get it next year, I think is when it's set to come out. But this one's been in development since, they had a trailer at last year's E3. Looked really great. But we hadn't seen any gameplay at all until this year when they rolled out another, 8-minute trailer. I watched the whole thing. I tried to make you watch the whole thing, and you were very upset.
I did knock over your coffee table, yes.
It just still flipped over there.
Oh, is it? Shoot.
But overall, let's get your first impressions, Sean. As a man who doesn't care about video games, what did you think?
Why are there white lines on his suit?
Yeah, so in this particular story, believe it or not, Sean, video games have stories now.
Oh, I know.
Different than in your day.
How Frocka gets across the highway, that's a story.
Why is he doing it?
Get to that river.
His family's there. But, yeah, so this is, in this particular story, it looks like this is a Spider-Man he's been Spider-Manning for quite a while. A few years or so, maybe more. And so I guess to kind of make that distinction from the movies for, just casual gamers or moviegoers that want to, buy the game because Spider-Man's on it, they made a new costume. And I'm not sure, they haven't explained why he has, because he's got the red and blue, but he also has, like you said, this white spider, and it just the legs kind of go throughout the whole costume. I kind of like it. I think his web shooters are white as well, which might be a part of that giant spider on the front. But yeah, I don't know if it's just an aesthetic choice, because normally it's just all black, so maybe they tried all black and that particular spider design didn't look as good, it didn't stand out as well, or maybe it's part of the story itself. In that trailer, he fights these mob bosses, and then this Yakuza style gang kind of rolls in, and one of them seems to be possessed or have powers, and his eyes are white and everything, so maybe that's just maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. I remember you watched some gameplay that I showed you yesterday. What did you think of that? As far as how it looked and how smooth it was and everything.
I mean, I guess the web slinging was kind of interesting. Not as good as just watching a movie, but it was all right.
Yeah, it looks very smooth, which is kind of what you want. And even just the movements of the character itself. We saw a lot of gameplay where he's fighting. And it's slow. I guess it's his spider sense is kind of where the angle they're going for, but it seems like you can kind of slow down time a little bit and react. hit certain buttons to go into a combo or web a certain guy who's about to shoot you or something. But it looks very, very smooth. It has you haven't played these, obviously, but
Oh, you assume Snoop?
sorry. Well, I'm going to assume that you haven't played the Batman Arkham games. Yes, no?
Snoop. Do you know how many hours I've spent playing those fantastic video games?
0.
Yes.
Yeah, so Rocksteady is a company that makes they made Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, the whole Arkham games, and that kind of...
I'm Rocksteady.
But yeah, those to this point are the best superhero video games ever made, and they kind of came up with their own combat system that games have been copying since then. It's just a lot of quick hits, and then you can counter and go into like if you're in the Batman games in particular, like if someone's about to hit you, you hit triangle or X or whatever, and he'll block the punch, but also kind of like break the guy's arm and then throw him into another guy, and it all works. Like it's very reactive. It's up to the better you are playing it, the better you're gonna look like fighting, and that's kind of looks like what they did with this, which is fine. I mean, if it works, go for it. But it does look like it's a lot more quick movements, and Spider-Man's flipping over people.
So it's like taking the combat from Arkham and kind of making it more acrobatic, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
See, I'm catching on.
Yeah, see, you're getting it, and kind of using the webs and stuff, because in the Batman games, it's just more like Batman just being brutal and throwing guys into other guys and breaking limbs. But with Spider-Man, he's kind of just leaping over people and webbing the guy next to him, and then jumping off his head into the other guy. So it looks really good. He's got a lot of cool gadgets. It's a mix of you can kind of sneak around and web people onto, like, he's in a construction site, I believe, and he's webbing people onto like different girders. And the other guys are like, "Hey, what's that?" I saw a really cool thing. I think you were watching it with me at that point too. He kind of fires a web at this crate, and as the guy walks by it, a sensor goes off and it catches him and pulls him into that crate and just keeps him webbed up there. That's something I haven't seen really. It might be in a comic or something, but I've never really seen Spider-Man do that. And I like that aspect of seeing Peter Parker make his own web gadgets and stuff that we don't get in the movies. He makes the web fluid, but really that's just to web people up and then swing around. He doesn't really do anything else with it past that. So I think it's going to be a really great game. It's set to come out early next year, I believe. They haven't got an official release date.
Yeah, overall it seems really innovative and going to be a lot of fun.
Solid final verdict, Sean. So I guess we can go on, and I guess let's just keep doing this. Like, let's not go through all of Sony's stuff that we want to talk about or all of Nintendo's stuff. I know you like a more structured show, Sean, but let's just kind of wing it at this point.
Oh, Snoop.
And talk about what comes to mind.
What comes to mind, Snoop?
Well, the next game that comes to mind is a very colorful game. Some Mario Odyssey. Showed you that yesterday. You know Mario, right? Little guy, red hat.
Yeah, he owes me money.
Yeah, that's right, he does. But, yeah, so this is going to be the first Mario game, I guess, like, first-party Mario title for the Switch. Mario Kart's already come out, but every console, Nintendo, cranks out the usual, like a new Zelda or a new Mario and a solo title. And we saw a trailer for this when the Switch was first announced. The Switch, Sean, the new console they got?
Nope.
Yep. And so this game looks really good, Sean. Like, I know it's just another trailer to you or whatever, but this game looks really fun.
This was the one with the hat.
Yeah. He's got every Mario game, as far as like the solo Mario titles where he has to go save Princess Peach or whatever. Since Mario 64, it's kind of been this open world platformer, and then they kind of went away for that for a little bit, but now they're coming back to it. And he usually has a gimmick, like in Mario Sunshine back on the GameCube, he had a little water jetpack thing. Mario Galaxy was in space, and he had a little star dude follow him around that he could use for various things. So this one, he's got a little hat. I think his name is Cappy. They're so clever, those guys at Nintendo.
Look at him go.
Look at him go. But yeah, so we knew you could throw this hat, but you can do a whole other thing. Look, Sean, there's so many things to do with the hat is my point. Are you excited about the hat?
Oh, Snoop, the hat. It's... I'm just tickled pink over here.
It looks really cool.
I think that's an infection.
Oh. We'll ignore that.
Okay.
But no, this looks really cool. Like, the best thing about Nintendo is they've never really been focused on graphics. You know, they've always kind of been a step behind. With this new console, they finally made the move up to, I guess actually the Wii U, they would have done HD, 1080p or whatever. But so, they're not about your 4Ks or your even your 8Ks, Sean. They don't have time for it. So they focus a lot on gameplay more than anything else. But these Mario games, these Zelda games, these are where they really shine. And this game looks really amazing. The colors even just fit they kind of use that to their advantage with these worlds that you can go to. He goes to various worlds. He goes like New York City at one point, and it's all kind of like a weird, like just gray and black, just not much to it. But then you can go to the world over, and he's like in prehistoric times. There's dinosaurs running around. The fields and everything are green. There's flowers everywhere. Goes to Lava Planet. You got all your different oranges and yellows, all those textures you love so much, Sean, in any kind of video game. It's all there. And I think what I really like about this game is, one, it feels like a Mario game, which I always love to play, but they've really gone all out on these gameplay mechanics. You can use that cap and, like, I need to get across a gap, so I'll throw the cap and it'll kind of sit there in the air for a little bit, and you can jump off on that to make the jump. You can throw the hat around and it'll like spin around you and knock anyone coming your way. The coolest thing that they introduced with this new trailer is you can throw it at things and become them. Like, I think he's like, there's like a tank running around. He throws it at the tank, and then the hat stays on the tank and gets a little mustache, and then you can shoot. You are the tank, Sean.
I am the tank.
The thing you've always wanted to be. Well, you can finally do it. You can finally tank just like you want. And it's everything. Like, the people in that New York style city, you can become them. Even in the prehistoric world, the big one is that he threw it at a T-Rex, and then the T-Rex got a little mustache, and you can walk around with the T-Rex. Like, it looks like anything that's in this game that you can slightly interact with, you can throw that hat at and use it. And that opens up a lot of interesting gameplay possibilities, to solve. Because these Mario and Zelda games have a lot of puzzles in them, how to get to a certain star or whatever. You have to jump across this gap or hit this switch somehow. And so you can use all these different things to maybe, I assume, accomplish those challenges. And that's just really fun to me. Like, it's not, I don't like, we're kind of past this point now where games are just like straightforward levels, walk this way, take a left, get this key, walk back and open the door or whatever. We like being challenged and kind of coming up with our own ways, and then also seeing how other people would challenge it. They made a big point of that with the last Zelda game they just came out with this year. It's you can play any of the dungeons in any of the ways you like order you want. You don't have to play any of them. You can just go straight to the final boss. And it's I would play it, and then I'd give it to my friend when he came over because he wanted to play it, and just to see how he would do something different than I would, and it still works, is just really interesting to me. I think it's kind of like just this new trend of gaming.
Huh. Well, Snoop, this game seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Is this I mean, obviously even you know about Mario. Yeah?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah? When was the last time you played a Mario game?
I used to pick up the old Mario Sunshine back in the day.
Yeah. You like that one?
Yeah.
It's pretty solid, right? You get the little different power-ups. Do you think you would play this one? Because it looks very similar to me.
No?
Not even if I let you play it. You don't have to spend any money.
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Good deal. I think it's actually going to have co-op. I think you can get a second player in there, and he places that cap. Like, does different stuff with it. I don't know. They just kind of threw it to the side and said something. But maybe if you want to, think it over, Sean. If you want to take a old spin at Cappy.
I'm going to need some time to think about this.
Oh, and not all these games got official release dates. Like I said, Spider-Man's going to come out in early 2018, but this one I think is set to come out October 27th or 17th. So it's on the way this year, Sean. And looks really good. Definitely check out those trailers.
Okay, well, next to my Xbox X1 in my basket, I am putting Mario Cappy Adventures Part 2. What's the name of this game?
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Otters.
Yes. It'll work perfectly on that Xbox One X, even though it's a different console.
Good, because I'm not buying another one.
You already bought 4 of the same one. You're putting your foot down. So you don't remember any other trailer I showed you yesterday?
Honestly, I don't.
Okay.
I was pretty zoned out last night.
That's fair. Well, Sean, I got a list here. So I can maybe just name some stuff off here. You can look at this list and be like, hey, what's that? Either way, I'll go ahead and start us off. We're on Mario. We'll talk about Mario a little more, and then I'll shut up about it. We got a Mario crossover. It's official now.
Oh, finally, Mario Crossdresser.
Actually, it's funny you say that. Because there is some cross-dressing in here, not by Mario.
Let him be who he is.
And it's 2017.
Stop judging him.
No, so this is going to be a Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is it's going to be a crossover between Nintendo's Mario property, obviously, but also the character of the Rabbids from that Ubisoft own. I think they first popped up. You've heard of Rayman?
Nope.
Okay, well, Rayman is kind of like this side-scroller platformer level thing. You play this. I don't know what Rayman is, actually. He's just like this weird little orange man that has hands but not arms and feet and no legs. But he's really cool looking, Sean. And then later down the road, they came up with these things called Rabbids, which I've got a picture of them right here. It's those things. Those are Rabbids. See, they got little ears.
That thing come by my house, I shoot it.
Yep. I would too, because these things are annoying as shit. Basically, they're the minions before the minions were invented.
Oh, good.
They just scream a lot and cause problems. And also make $1 billion in the box office. But, yeah, Ubisoft, it was leaked a while ago that Ubisoft and Nintendo were working on this Rabbids Mario crossover, and everyone was like, why? Because, I mean, you look at these things, like, why would you want this in a game with Mario? But the trailer, this is actually one of the bigger surprises at E3. Not for me personally, but a lot of people are happy about this game now. It's basically has the same strategy style gameplay as a game called XCOM, which I've never played, but apparently a lot of people loved. And there's not much of a story, but it looks like that the Rabbids kind of invade the Mushroom Kingdom, which is where Mario is. He's always eating those mushrooms, getting big. And so Mario teams up with a couple of them, I guess, to take down the rest. And the ones he teams up in particular like to dress up as the Mario characters. You got Peach right there. You got Luigi with a sideways cap. So, yeah, it's very strategy turn-based type stuff. Like, you'll have I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, I never played XCOM, but it looks like you'll walk around with Mario or whoever you're playing as. I'm sure you can get more characters and different teammates later down the line. Walk into an area and have to battle someone, but there's like different walls and like obstructions set up, and you have to tell a player to go this way, and you'll tell the other player to go to the left and flank them and corner them, and then you'll hit them with this weird little laser gun thing. And that's pretty much all there is to it, but a lot of people really on board for it now. I don't necessarily like the Rabbids being in it. I don't know why you wouldn't just use the character of Rayman and some of his friends, because they all have interesting character designs, but I guess you can't put them in Princess Peach's blonde wig the same. So yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, this game, it seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
In case you guys haven't noticed, that's going to be Sean's final verdict for every single one of these.
No, not at all.
You're going to throw in one actual opinion later down the road.
These are my opinions, Snoop. I'm taking this serious. I'm not sure about you.
I'm sorry. I just don't see how innovative this is.
Look, you got these, what do you call them, Rabbids?
Yeah.
These rabbis. You got these rabbis dressed up as peaches and apples. They're running all over this Mushroom Kingdom, Snoop. That's so dang innovative.
Got a weird little gun.
Look at that gun. You don't see that every day.
No, and the rabbits don't wear pants, just like you.
How indecent of them.
Yeah, it looks fine. It was kind of cool because all this, like I said, all this stuff was announced at the press conferences. This one in particular was announced at Ubisoft's press conference. Shigeru, I think his name is Miyamoto. He's like the big Nintendo representative. Like he's there at all the big announcements. He's kind of just been the head of the company. He came out with I guess one of the head people at Ubisoft, and they have these weird little laser guns, and they did like this awkward, like back to back, holding the gun up in the air thing. It was super
like
cute.
Angels.
Yeah. And people love that stuff though. Like they love like that one guy in particular. They love that guy. Like as soon as he shows up anywhere, people like order copies of this.
So question.
What?
Does Nintendo still make playing cards?
Maybe. I think they're all virtual now though.
Well then what's
the point? But they got little Marios on them.
Because that's how the company started, I know, back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
I do know that for some reason.
Yeah, you gotta give it to... See, like, people talk about a winner and a loser at E3. I'd say Nintendo had the best show, because even though this was a Ubisoft's press conference, this is still Nintendo as well. And so that's a win for them. Mario Odyssey got a lot of hype. Some other games I'll kind of mention later down the road that a lot of people are excited for. So, yeah, I mean, they did really well, which... they needed, because they were kind of on the way out, because that last console they made did not do anything. But
you're telling me.
I'm just excited games are coming out for, like, this is going to be on the Switch as well. So put it in your basket, Sean.
No, I already got the Xbox X1.
Yeah, and this is a game, like, this is the kind of stuff I would look forward to playing. It's not necessarily something I was hoping for, but the gameplay looks fun enough. I love the world of Mario and the characters to look past the annoying rabbits. I would play this game, and I know a lot of other people are going to as well, because, like I said, everyone loved that XCOM game, and that's how they're marketing. It's just a really new version of XCOM.
So everybody order your copy for the Xbox X1. Coming to a store near you.
Yeah, this actually comes out really soon. I think it comes out in August, I believe. I hope you got express shipping, Sean. Because I know you're going to want to play it. First go.
Obviously.
Here, Sean, I'll turn this towards you.
Oh, my goodness.
And sorry for all the noise, guys. So I'm just going to scroll through some stuff, and you point at something and go, hey, that thing, what's that?
What is that thing?
That's the time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
What is Beyond Good and Evil?
Oh, okay. So Beyond Good and Evil, it's a sequel, believe it or not. Well, it's actually a prequel, but it's got the number 2 on it anyway. They're pretty sold on that. Again, not a lot about this game. I know I didn't play the first one, but this was it kind of had. It seems like it kind of had a similar like story and style as Legend of Zelda.
Wait.
Oh, wahoo!
Forget what you're told, kid. Swearing is cool.
I'm not gonna let you read the article.
No, it's just this part.
Okay.
That's according to Beyond Good and Evil 2. Anyway, which peppered its first proper trailer with so many F-bombs that it sounded like a hyperactive sci-fi version of that scene from The Wire. Now, I do care about The Wire, but I'm not sure what scene they're talking about.
That's a good question. Let's click on it and find out.
Ah, okay, I know what they're talking about.
Okay.
I know what scene they're talking about.
Maybe go into that, Sean.
People watch The Wire.
Okay, well, give us a little spoilers. Let's see, Jimmy and Bunk on a crime scene. What are they doing on this crime scene, Sean?
They're, like, getting up evidence, and they're just saying the F word over and over while they don't actually talk to each other.
Oh, just saying a lot of swearing.
They just say literally just the F word over and over and over.
That's kind of fun.
While they're like getting fingerprints and stuff.
That's actually kind of fun. Okay. Well, yeah, there is a lot of swearing in this trailer. This game got a lot of people excited because we didn't really expect it. I don't know a lot about this, but it seems like it's a world where you have different kind of animals, but they're hyper intelligent. Like, they can speak and everything. And I guess there's a monkey in here. I think his name is Noxie. And he made a pig very mad, very fat pig, very angry, and he's just kind of running away from that. It's just a whole little cinematic thing. This game just went into development like day 1, so that's literally all they had to show for it. But this game also has been apparently in development for like 10 years. Now, they had a trailer of it at another E3 years ago, and I've been reading articles about it that this new trailer seems like it's completely changed everything about it. But it looked really interesting. Like I said, I like this world that it has, where it's a mix of humans and hyper intelligent animals, and it seems like it's going to be a lot of like smuggling type stuff, maybe like a lot of stealing, maybe.
Ooh.
Which I don't support that in real life, but in a video game, I'm fine with it. And that's also Ubisoft. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like it's gonna kind of take like an online aspect of it. Like you can maybe team up with somebody and do missions and stuff. But if it has a solid single player campaign or whatever, I'd be interested in giving it a go. Trailer looks very interesting.
Oh yes. Well, personally, I think this game seems very innovative and a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah. Maybe you can give the first one a go. I mean, I won't. It's past that time, but definitely think about it. Now, I want to talk about this one, Sean. I showed you this yesterday as well. I kind of talked to you about it.
Did you?
Yeah. How do you not remember any of this?
I don't.
I told you to do your homework.
I'm out of school, Snoop. I don't do homework anymore.
Well, maybe you should.
I'm past that stage in my life.
Well, let's talk about this, and pay attention this time, Sean. We're going to talk about Hidden Agenda.
Okay.
I know I told you about Until Dawn yesterday.
Did you?
Yep. Game came out last year. One of the first, not first, like a new PS4 exclusive. It's only on the PlayStation 4, Sean. You might need to get one of those as well. And next is 4 Xbox One X's that you got, because that's the only way you're going to play this. But Until Dawn was a really interesting game. It was like kind of like a point and click adventure type style, like quick time thing, where you play as like 7 or 8 annoying kids, all went up to the one's parents' cabin to have sex and do the drugs, all the things that you do on a regular basis. And
I don't brag about it.
well, these kids did, and they started getting killed off, and I loved it. It just kind of took every like trope of 80s horror, slasher films, and then put it into a game where you can make choices like, you're looking for one of your friends that disappeared. Do you go left or do you go right? Do you pick up this wrench or do you pick up a cell phone and take a selfie? Obviously, you know what I'm going to do, but depending on how you played, it progressed the story that way, and some of these kids would get killed, all of them would get killed, none of them would get killed. It's up to you. And it was
I want them all dead, every single one.
Yeah, it was a really fun game. It wasn't long, and it was mostly just, it was about the story, which is still kind of interesting. But I played this with a friend of ours, and a lot of people who bought this game played it with groups of people, and like they played it all together, like do this or do that.
Who'd you play it with?
I played with Caitlin Mobley.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I got Higgins to play it by himself. Like, I sat there behind him. I made him play the whole thing, and he was so scared.
Well, if there's one thing Higgins is good at, it's playing by himself.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening, Higgins.
Shout out to Higgins. But no, yeah, it's really fun. Just to, like I said, see what people will do. See how that particular story was horror. And it's genuinely scared me at points. So they decided this same company decided to make a game called Hidden Agenda, where you're playing as a cop trying to hunt down a serial killer, and it's going to have the same play, but because they knew people played this game together, they decided to try this thing. Who knows how it'll go, but it's called a PlayStation Link or Play Link, and you can get an app on your phone when this comes out, along with a few other games they're releasing, and basically you'll have your choices and you vote for whatever you want to do, and whoever, whatever choice has the most votes, that's what happens. Or you can just play it by yourself, one of the two. And don't really care about the whole voting thing. I think that's really cool for people that all want to kind of get involved and play. But I really enjoyed the last game they made. The graphics look amazing. So yeah. And I like a good mystery, Sean. I want to see where the serial killer is. I want to see what he's up to.
Well, if you had to ask me, I would say this game seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
Good thing I didn't ask you.
but if you did,
that's what you would say.
Yes.
All right, solid verdict, Sean. You got any other games on this list you're just dying to talk about?
I know there's one you want to talk about.
What's that?
A Way Out.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about that game. I know a little bit about it. I know basically.
You don't want to talk about that Battlefront?
We'll talk about that. Way Out, I think, is it's like a co-op game where you're either trying to break out of prison or break into a prison or break out of something. It could be fun. I don't know.
Out of this podcast.
A lot of people liked it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't look into it, but apparently.
Well, to me, it kind of seems like it would be really innovative and a lot of fun.
Yeah, moving on. You know what is going to be innovative and hopefully a lot of fun?
What's that?
That new Battlefront game you just mentioned, which, again, we talked about last week. We'll go over it real quick. Yeah, new Star Wars Battlefront 2. We have Battlefront 1, or I guess just they called it Battlefront. They had it come out right before The Force Awakens back in 2015 because they're like, hey, everyone's going nuts over the Star Wars movie. Let's make some quick cash and pump out a Star Wars game. And that's kind of what it felt like. You know, it looked great. The sound design was on point. Like, it felt like you were playing in a movie, but there just wasn't anything to get you to stay. Like, there was no customization, and you have these very basic classes that you can pick between. You can change your guns, but there's only I think 10, and they don't really feel any different. And it was only the original trilogy that you could play. So there was and we've had Battlefront games before back on the PS2. So to kind of go from all the stuff that those had to just this basic playing field just wasn't fun for me. And that game is now worth like $5. And so now they're going to release Battlefront 2 later this year in November. And it looks like they're just giving us everything that we should have gotten in the first game. But that is technically a good thing because, that's good fun. Like you have all the movies. You can play as the droids from the prequel trilogies, which those are bad movies. But in a game, to play as those characters works really great.
Now, didn't you say this game's going to be canon in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, so it's actually, we talked to our friend Dylan about that the other day.
You're going to force him to play it?
He wanted to play it, actually.
Wow.
He wanted me to get it so he could play it. Yeah, so it's going to have multiplayer. That's obviously something big they push. But this new game is going to have a single-player campaign because a lot of people wanted that in the last game. And, hey, Gary.
Get away.
He's settling in. We're all moved into the new place now, so he's got plenty of couches to sleep on. What are you doing, dude?
Cat's stalking us.
Yeah, that's what he does. But, yeah, so it's going to have a single-player campaign, and it looks like it's going to you're playing as an Imperial trooper after the explosion of the second Death Star. Spoiler alert. You put that cat down.
He's happy.
He's being picked up. I don't know why. But, they said it's going to be canon. So
okay.
And
So when does this take place in the Star Wars timeline?
It'll take place literally right after Return of the Jedi. Like after the half-built Death Star is destroyed again. And it's basically playing as a group of Imperial specifically one Imperial trooper, it looks like. And she's like the leader of this special team the Emperor had to do missions for him. And now apparently you have one last mission where if the Empire fell and he died, to get revenge. And that's just what you're doing, which is interesting that this is that first single player campaign they're going to add and you're playing as the bad guys. I kind of like it. And if it's canon, I think, as a lot of other people have said on the old interwebs, that this might be kind of an early precursor to what the First Order becomes in The Force Awakens and, this new trilogy we're getting.
Well,
And before you say anything, Sean, final verdict, gameplay looks really good. They took away the token system where you had to find an item to get, become a hero. If you wanted to play as Darth Vader, you had to go find him on the field in token form and then pick him up before anyone else. But it looks like with this, you get in-game score points by killing people or doing things, and then you can spend those in the round to play as your Darth Vader or your Han Solos.
Well, when I take all of that into account, it does appear that this game will be really innovative and a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks really innovative and also a lot of fun. So good stuff.
The cat sniffing my shoes.
He loves shoes. He loves shoes and he loves good games. This has been quite a week for him.
I think he just likes shoes.
Mostly the shoes. But he's also happy about the games. It's not on this list you're looking at right now, Sean, believe it or not, but Wolfenstein 2.
Oh, finally.
Will come out.
I love Wolfenstein 1.
A lot of people did love Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah. comes out, I guess, later this year or next year. I don't remember, but basically it's going to be Nazis in America. And we got
about time, says some people, not this guy.
A lot of people are really pumped about this. This is Bethesda, who overall people weren't happy with this year. They introduced another version of Skyrim, which I don't know if you know this, Sean, but that game came out in 2011, and they're still making money off of it.
Probably because it's really innovative.
And maybe a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced it for the Switch, and they also announced Skyrim VR, because, that's a thing now. We got all the, you're in the game now. That's how innovative and a lot of fun we are these days. So we're in the game. But they also announced the return of paid mods, which are like, hey, someone designed this cool outfit. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. Now you have to pay for it. So everyone's pissed off. They do this every now and again, and people lose their shit, and then they go back on it. So I think now it's under the name of the Creative Club, but it's just the same exact thing. I don't know if they'll go through with it. Yeah, like I said, Bethesda is doing Wolfenstein 2. I like the concept. Nazis in America. I can get behind it.
Oh, yeah. It's really, really innovative and a lot of fun.
You're going to have to give some opinions on some of this stuff.
Snoop.
Are these valid opinions that you're actually saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. I've insulted you.
Yes. Not just you, but not just me, but
I'm sorry. I should really start taking this as seriously as you do. You want to talk about Far Cry 5 real quick?
I mean, if you want to.
I think we should. A lot of people are kind of amped up for it. Now, believe it or not, Sean, there's been 4 Far Cries before now. Actually, this is the 6th Far Cry. There might be even more than that, because they had a Far Cry Primal. Plays a little caveman. And in this, I know I showed you this trailer.
You maybe.
How do you not know? Oh, whatever. Okay, so, quick rundown. You're a cop. Goes into a small town that's been taken over by a weird cult. And they're killing people. What do you think?
Well, I do support cults.
No, you do not. Not this cult. A lot of people are really kind of mixed about this. Not necessarily the game itself, but the story.
I vaguely remember this trailer now that you say
that. It's kind of like I didn't show you the gameplay trailer because the thing is about the Far Cry games, they all look the same, just it's a different skin. And but I remember playing Far Cry 3, and it was a lot of fun. You can walk around and hunt different animals, kill different people with different creative ways. The thing that gets people about this game is that, like I said, that you have this cult, and a lot of people are upset because of this. They think it's like this really violent interpretation of Christianity, like just a bunch of insane people, spouting all this stuff about God and killing people because of it. And you have like this, I guess he's the father or whatever, and he has like tattoos all over him, and he's just walking into town and murdering people. So, everyone's, they're a little upset. But the thing is, like, me personally, I don't really, when I watched that trailer, it didn't necessarily come across as it's trying to offend or attack anybody in particular. I just, it just seemed like an idea they kind of wanted to try. I can see where, depending on the story and how far they take that, it can be, kind of tasteless. But, yeah, I don't know. The Far Cry gameplay is, like I said, it's fun. And the thing is, though, what concerns me more about this game is it just seems like more of the same. Like I said, this is the 5th, technically the 6th one, as far as I know. It's the 5th in this particular main series. And there's nothing really different about it. So what's the point of, why go to it if you've already played some other ones before?
Well, I think I know the point, actually. And I think that point is that it's really innovative and a lot of fun.
Let me ask you a quick question, like as a person that doesn't play games.
Yes.
You have these kind of stories. Is that, you're not offended by mostly anything, which I like and respect.
Yeah.
Can you kind of see why people would?
Oh yeah, I see why. As far as offensive stuff, I mean, I'm not the one doing it, so I live by my own code. I'm my own man.
Which is really innovative.
Well, let me put it this way. I'll just say we live in a free country. If people want to make people have the freedom to make whatever content they want to. Nobody's holding a gun to your head forcing you to watch a certain movie or play a certain video game.
Except maybe this cult.
Yeah, you do have the opportunity to just like not engage in it.
Yeah. A lot of people, it's not as, I guess, prevalent now, but, back in the day, a lot of people were blaming video games on a lot of violence.
That's every generation.
Yeah.
Has its own. Once it was rock and roll, and then it was comics, and
then it went to video games.
Yeah,
and like I said, it's kind of gone.
And you show them the statistics, like, well, no, the crime rate's going down. Actually, like, well, we don't pay attention to those. Those are fake news right there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think what kind of gets people a little heated about stuff like this is you are like playing it. You're not just like watching it.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's that movie Red State.
Oh yeah, Kevin Smith's movie.
Yeah, and I could see somebody getting offended by that, and I'll leave my own religious beliefs out of this. But I don't look at like the main character of that movie, the preacher, as a representation of what I believe. So
yeah, it's just it's kind of like this own separate sect. Like it doesn't represent the whole. And that's how I kind of saw this trailer. Is it's just kind of these. And it's not even to me like I don't necessarily remember seeing a cross. I might be wrong, or anything that would kind of suggest that these are Christians doing this. But I don't look at that and see like, oh, that's how all Christians are. Obviously, they'll murder me in a small town. I wouldn't even begin to think that, and I don't necessarily know why anyone would. The thing is about video games is it is kind of like this. No matter what is put on there story-wise, it's always going to be kind of like this hyper reality, like hyper exaggerated version of whatever, because otherwise it's not going to be, there's no reason to play it. Like, there's nothing to keep me entertained. And in all the other Far Cry games, you kill plenty of people. So I think as far as if the gameplay is fun and you haven't played a Far Cry game, this wouldn't be bad to try out. I just necessarily don't care about it because I've played a couple Far Cry games and it doesn't look any different, so there's no reason to play the same game. Which brings me to another game, Sean.
Oh, boy.
That, no matter what you say, doesn't look innovative and a lot of fun.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we got a new Assassin's Creed game officially announced. Assassin's Creed Origins. We're going back, Sean, way back. Really far back. Like, do you see it over there?
2007.
Nope, you can't because it's that far back.
Ah.
No, we're going to just the great age of the Egyptians in this one. Now, Assassin's Creed, you've heard of it, I know. They made a movie about it last year that no one saw.
Yep.
And you're basically a guy who has different ancestors.
Yeah, don't you go into like the body of your ancestors or something like that?
Yeah, I think now they kind of, as far as the games go, because people necessarily didn't like that aspect of it, I didn't. You're just the guy himself. But originally, yeah, you go into this thing called the Animus, which is able to tap into, like, all your ancestors' memories are linked to yours. You just can't access them, it seems. So that lets you do that and kind of play through them to develop certain skills, like, oh, if I'm in the Animus for 4 hours and I do a lot of assassin stuff that my ancestor already knows how to do, then I'll be able to do it, that kind of thing. So in this one, they go back to like the very first assassins, because that's the most interesting thing about these games is where is it going to be set. Like we've had ones in Italy, there was one set during the Revolutionary War, and pirates set on or so on. This is going back to basics, like just out in Egypt, climbing on some pyramids, maybe using a pulley or two to get around. Really down and dirty stuff. And, people, I watched this trailer, a little bit of it. People seemed excited. But, again, I've played an Assassin's Creed game. I've played all the other Assassin's Creed games. There's just, it gets very samey.
I think I know why they're excited.
Why is that?
Probably because this game seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
Do you kind of like that concept, though, of
It's
going to different, history?
Yeah, it could be interesting if it wasn't a video game.
There's nothing wrong with video games, Sean.
No, do what you want.
There's some stuff that
I don't condone it.
There's stuff you can do in video games that you can never do in other forms of media.
Name one thing.
Well, let's see. What can I name? All right, I'm going to name this, but technically you could do it in a different medium. God of War's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been 3. I think maybe a PSP game fit in there, just kind of squeezed in there so we wouldn't notice. And in the first 3, I know you fight different Greek gods. What are you laughing at?
Higgins sent me a text saying he's watching the original Old Boy. Good for Higgins.
He's not gonna like that twist at the end.
Well, he's seen the remake, which I don't know why.
Ugh. Why?
Good movie. Everybody go watch the original Old Boy.
2003. Yeah. It's
instead of playing all these video games, watch Old Boy.
Wow. I thought you were taking this seriously, Sean.
Snoop. No, I'm not. Anyway, on to this.
God of War.
Yes.
God of War. You're a guy. He got screwed over by Zeus, if I remember right, and then he goes on a revenge mission throughout 3 games, and it's like hack and slash, running around, killing a bunch of minions and stuff until you get to the main boss level, which is a gigantic god that you hit a bunch of times with a sword, and then you get some of their stuff. Like you maybe get a Zeus's lightning bolt, maybe get some solid heals from that one. Was Achilles is the one that has the heals?
Yep.
Yeah. But in this, he's killed all those gods. You know, he's like, I'm done with this shit. He went on his own, had a son, grew a beard, but it's time for him to get back in the game, Sean. But there's no more gods. There's no more Greek gods to kill. Who does he kill, Sean?
Jack Black.
Well, that's the main mission. But before he gets there, he has to go through all these Norse gods that are in the way. Your Thors, your Odin's sons, and maybe a Loki. All of them. He's got to kill them all. I don't know if this is going to be another trilogy like those were and go throughout, but this looks really, really good.
Yeah, before you mentioned the stuff about the Norse gods, I wasn't sure about this game. But now that you mentioned that, the game seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
Well, now that you mention it, I can see why it would be innovative and a lot of fun.
Yes.
You mean you got Kratos is the main guy, but he's not alone this time. He has his son with him. He's gonna kind of just be walking around, you doing annoying kid stuff, but he's got a bow, so he's not completely useless. And you got a new weapon. You know, in the old games, as I know you know, because you've played all of them, you had some
many
swords.
times.
Yeah. But in this one, he's got a cool little axe that he can throw, and it comes right back to him like Thor's hammer.
Like a real axe.
Yeah.
Everybody go in the streets and just chuck an axe.
But I actually, we don't get a lot of Norse mythology and different, stories and stuff, like outside of the actual Norse mythology. Obviously, we get Thor, but they don't even go into that a lot of times. It's just like, here's Odin, here's Loki, that maybe, have Thor in there if you want. Like, do we need anyone to be shirtless?
Yes.
Yes. So let's get Chris Hemsworth in there. Stat. Yeah. So I want to play it just for that. I kind of want to see, like, I want to fight all these different gods and kind of see why he is going back. I think it has something to do with his son. I think someone's after him. Maybe I don't remember really, but the gameplay looks really fun and it looks very innovative. Is my point.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know where that review just came to me. Believe it or not.
How many more of these we got?
We'll go through
I'm not rushing you.
It sounds like you're rushing me,
No, I'm
Sean.
just curious how many more we have.
I'm just going to go over... At least that. We're not going to go... There's tons of games that came out through these conferences, so we're definitely not going to go over all of these. I just felt the need to touch on kind of like the ones I know people will be excited about and the ones I found interesting.
Well, we should go over all of them. Who are you to be the judge of what games people wants to play?
I'm sorry. Let's talk about Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Definitely.
The Uncharted series, Nathan Drake. We're getting a prequel movie with little Tom Holland. We talked about him earlier.
Yep.
He's just such a giver, that Tom Holland. But Nathan Drake's like the Indiana Jones style character. Goes into temples, messes them up, handsome, all those things that Harrison Ford is to this day. But now, Nathan Drake's retired. He's done. He got 4 games in. That's a solid go, Sean. But where do we go from here?
Nowhere but up, I say.
We do a spin-off. That's right. You're playing as a character named Chloe, who I think was in Uncharted 2. And she's basically the new... we gotta have a strong female protagonist and everything now, which I'm perfectly on board with. I love it.
Like he's not.
I am, actually. But... yeah, I think I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be like a full game. I think it's gonna be kind of like a DLC for Uncharted 4, like a really just a really fleshed out DLC. And I think I'm playing the first one right now. You can get 1 through 3 on a little collection, and then buy 4 fairly cheap. And they're really fun. They're like little action adventure games. You know, like they're all pretty linear. Like you go to, you know, like it has a cutscene. You know, like I need to go get this, and you gotta, you know, maybe whip around, solve a puzzle or two.
Huh? Has puzzles, you say?
Yeah, it does. They're really famous for their set pieces in game. You know, like maybe he's on a train that's falling off a cliff, and he's got to slowly climb up the train. Maybe he's got to find a helicopter. They're really fun. And the story is what people really get attached to. This character, like I said, I don't know a lot about, but from what I've seen, I remember liking her. So and this looks really good. Huh. So I want to play it.
Since there's a strong female protagonist, this game seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
You don't get a lot, like, it's good to see that we're finally getting a lot of more female protagonists in games. Like, we've had, you know, stuff like Tomb Raider, which that's been revamped in the last few years, and those have been really fun as well.
They were really innovative.
Yeah. And this game is kind of in the same boat. Like, it's that last a couple Tomb Raider games and Uncharted are kind of the same thing, gameplay-wise. So, it's just an enjoyable experience to go through. And they look great. Look, you got these individual hair strands, Sean.
Those are leaves.
Oh, yeah. Well, they look great. That's how great they look. I thought it was hair. It's just moving so smoothly. You're just so overwhelmed by all these great games that are going to be coming out.
Oh, Snoop. So many hours are going to be spent on these great games.
That's right.
So, you said Nintendo won this thing. Who lost it?
Like I said, I would probably say Microsoft. They didn't really have... they had the console was the biggest thing, and like I said, there's not really a reason to go for that unless you're just like, hey, either I don't have an Xbox, and if I'm going to get one, I'm going to go all out, or I care about graphics that much but want to stay on console that I need to get this. They have Forza Motorsport 7, which is a racing game. I don't care about racing games, but I know a lot of people do. It looks really great, like visually.
Oh yeah, the visuals look really innovative and a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, they put a lot of effort into these. You know, for a racing game, they do put a lot of effort into these. Like, you can get different views of the cars. You can like, oh, like this is what the car looks like in the interior. Like, here's the mirror. Here's everything. Like they actually put all those details in. So it does sound silly to you and me, but people love that. These, like I said, this is the seventh one, and this isn't the only racing game, so they stick around for a reason. They sell. They announced a lot of sports games as well. There's a new Madden on the way, like every year, new FIFA.
Well, the fact that they're able to keep up with it every year means it's really innovative and a lot of fun.
Speaking of innovative, that new Madden game is coming out. It's actually going to have a story mode, which is odd to me.
See, learn why Michael Vick beat those dogs.
Oh, we were just getting over that, Sean. Yeah, it's whatever. I think they're coming out with a FIFA for the Switch, which is...
So a soccer game.
Yeah, people love FIFA.
Yeah.
Like, well, our friend, we talk about Higgins a lot this episode. He'll be flattered. But we're going to talk about his brother instead. He plays those FIFA games every single year. And
he also plays soccer, so the fact that he's able to come home from playing soccer...
And play more soccer.
Play a soccer game is in and of itself very innovative and a lot of fun.
And good, he deserves it, quite frankly. He works really hard.
You're going through these fast and struggling to keep putting this in there.
Okay, big announcement, kind of a surprise, Sean. Shadow of the Colossus was announced. Now, this game came out ages ago. He plays a character who... He's basically trying to save someone, but to do it, he's got to defeat the Colossi, or the Colossuses, however you want to pronounce it. I don't judge.
Colosso.
Yep. And you just go through the game. These things are huge. You climb up on them. You maybe stab them in the head. You ride a horse or two. This game, like, there had really not been anything like this before. And... people still play this game to this day. Like, it was re-released, I think, on PS3, but it was just kind of like a little remastered, nothing much to it. Well, they announced this one, Sony in particular, is going to be on, I think, just PlayStation, if I remember right. It's going to be like a full remake, which is pretty crazy. Like, normally with these old games, when they bring them back, they just kind of like make a port for them to where the gameplay mechanics work, and then maybe pump up the graphics a little bit. This is going to be like specifically made for the PS4.
Huh.
And they might even, it sounds like they're going to add in some new features, some new levels and stuff. So I didn't beat this game when it came out.
Why didn't you?
It's really hard. Not for me anyway. I'm sure other people beat this all the time, but like I'm going to do it this time for sure. Like
Snoop's been known to beat something hard himself. Continue.
Yeah, well, this is good. Like this was a really big surprise from Sony to have this. You know, I think they like Blue Point Games is the one making it. I think they like bought the rights like literally right before they announced it. So we kind of knew after that it was going to come, but just to actually hear it confirmed it was really great to hear because, like I said, people love this game, and even people that don't play video games they like you. Talk to someone about this and they at least know what they've heard of it.
I've never heard of this.
I know you haven't because, again, you live under a rock when it comes to this stuff, but
it's a nice rock.
It's a very solid rock. But yeah, I'm gonna play this. This is good for younger gamers who have these consoles and they can kind of see what get into these games.
Well, the fact that they waited so long to announce this is very
moving on
and a lot of fun.
We're almost done. Actually, we might be done.
Okay.
Let me think. You don't have to comment on this. Just quick stuff, specifically that's big for Nintendo because, like I said, they had a pretty big show. New Yoshi game announced.
So innovative, so fun.
Looks really great. They're using the Unreal 4 engine, I think, to make this, which that's cool. What was it? New Kirby game gonna be there.
So much
co-op. We'll play together.
Fun.
So much co-op fun, Sean. We're gonna do it. And big one for Nintendo. They announced Metroid Prime 4. Which
finally.
It was literally just a... Nintendo did this with a lot of their stuff this year. They just kind of announced it and didn't have anything, but they knew that was good enough to keep people happy because everyone was like, where's Metroid? Where's Metroid? They made literally like a 10-second teaser where it just has Metroid Prime 4, like the title, Metroid Prime 4, just kind of fade in with the music, and everyone lost their shit.
Well, that teaser is very innovative and a lot of fun.
And... my favorite one from Nintendo was they announced a Pokemon, like a Tekken type game was being remastered. That was on the Wii U, and now it's on the Switch. And no one cared about it. So they had a guy, like a trailer where a guy talks about it. And he's like, yeah, we're really excited for this game. But since we know that you're not, we're also going to be making a new core Pokemon game for the Switch. Okay, bye. And that's all they said.
I think the fact that nobody cared about it
shows that it
really innovative and a lot of fun.
Actually, I think it wasn't innovative that no one cared about it. Yeah, no one. I've seen videos. It's not fun, but a new Pokemon game, like an actual mainline Pokemon game for the Switch, the Yoshi, the Mario, all this stuff. This is what Nintendo needed. They needed, again, like it doesn't mean anything to you, but this company in particular, they were behind on everything. They'd never been able to. I guess it's just because they really don't necessarily care about graphics wise. They've always kind of been behind on that front, but even their games the last generation haven't been anything. It's just been like worthless mini games that no one cares about, and people were kind of like, is Nintendo on the way out because they're not doing anything with the properties they have. They're not getting any third party support. This is what they're doing now. If they keep this trend of if they announce this stuff like they did this year for next year, but with new titles, if they keep that consistent, they could be not necessarily back on top, but in a very good position. These games, all the games that Nintendo announced, more or less, are pretty exciting. And then, like Sony has some good stuff too. They have, the Spider-Man looks great. God of War looks amazing. I think they're, you got Uncharted as well. They have thing about Sony is they have a lot of exclusives that people want to play, and they all look really fun. There's a game called Days Gone, which is kind of like a zombie survival game that they showed again this year. It looks okay. They're working on The Last of Us 2, which was an amazing game, and I can't wait to play the sequel. It wasn't shown at E3 this year, but I expect it to be out next, or at least trailers and stuff to be out next year at E3. So, and then Microsoft is just, maybe this console will do well. I don't really expect it to. But maybe this will teach them that they need to kind of go back to...
Microsoft is Xbox, right?
Yes, Microsoft makes Xbox. Sony makes PlayStation. Nintendo makes Nintendo. Yeah, those are the big three. you have like your PC stuff and like in different developers working for all those companies, but those are the the biggest of the three. And the things about Microsoft is they're not making games. Like they're making games, obviously, but any of these games that you can get for Microsoft, you can get on the PlayStation, and then you can get the exclusives that only PlayStation has. So why wouldn't you do that instead of spending $500 on a really sure it looks great, but there's nothing that makes this an absolute priority over another console if you're going to get one, Sean. So maybe take out a few of those Xbox One X's.
I'll take out 2.
And so hopefully this kind of taught them a lesson that they need to start making games again. Start making stuff that, and I don't even necessarily like the concept of exclusives, because that kind of keeps people out. But obviously I understand why they do it, to make money. So maybe that's what they should do, is get some, like get another Halo out there if people want it. I think they're working on Halo Wars at the moment, but Halo Wars 2. But yeah, I think this kind of taught them a lesson, because people were just kind of like, ugh, this does not look anything good. And Bethesda needs to stop selling Skyrim in 18 different platforms. Like, that's a fun game, but it's been years. Just make a new Elder Scrolls game. That's the franchise, Sean, as I know you know, but I just wanted to reiterate.
Thank you.
But yeah, E3, I don't think it was like the best that it's ever been, but there's definitely been some stuff that I'm looking forward to playing on PlayStation and Switch, because I got both, and I'm excited to know that I'll have games to play on them. Because that's the one thing I love about the consoles, is having games to play on them, and they've kind of, in the last few years, gone towards this all-in-one entertainment system, and now it looks like they're kind of getting back to games again, which is really exciting, and also a lot of fun.
Yes.
So someone who doesn't care about video games, you saw some stuff, you learned some stuff. I know you're not going to play any of it, but I hope you now know the importance of it every year.
Do they do this every freaking year?
They do it every year. Oh, I think they shut it down for a bit, and then they kind of brought it back as an every other year thing, but now it's back every year. But a lot of people get amped up for this. It's no different than we look forward to the next time Kevin Feige walks up on a stage. It's just like, here, you want 18 more movies? Have them. He shoves them down our throat.
I'm glad you can enjoy this.
Yeah, and this is kind of why I wanted to do this episode and you said that let's do it.
You're making it sound like... Yeah.
No, that's what I say. Like, you thought it was a good idea to do this episode as well, because there might be people who want to hear about it.
Well, I definitely did.
So I appreciate your support, Sean.
You're welcome.
If you guys, who watched E3 as well, have another game that maybe we didn't cover and you want to tell us about, definitely do that. You can send us a letter, theunnecessarygentlemen@gmail.com. And just tell some of your favorite games that you saw at E3. Tell us if you're going to get 5 Xbox One X's like Sean. You guys can talk about that. And if you have any other questions, definitely ask Sean about those games and how innovative and a lot of fun they're going to be.
Please do. Send that letter to me at the gentlemenunnecessary@gmail.com.
The Unnecessary Gentlemen.
No, not that one.
Oh, well, you have another one? Huh. Anyway, so Sean, we got some time.
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot. I mean, not as much as you this whole episode, but I figured we can maybe check some stuff out, give you the floor, so you can tell us more things that we can get amped up for this year.
Okay, well, actually, I don't have much to say. I've kind of had a busy week, so really all I've had time to watch is gotten up to episode 11 of Orange is the New Black season 5. That's about it.
So you're almost done?
Yeah, I got 2 more episodes. I'll try and knock out either tomorrow or day after.
You do you.
But a pretty good season. Lots of riots.
Yeah.
It is interesting. The whole season only takes place over 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, you would if you ever watched it, but...
I will. But I've got all these games to play, so let's do that first.
My goodness. I did, hopefully it'll get here tomorrow. I ordered Underwater Welder by Jeff Lemire, so I'll be talking about that next week, definitely.
Yeah, I know the title. I know Jeff Lemire is a great writer. But what is that necessarily about?
So he's an underwater welder, and he's about to be a father, and he's kind of nervous about it, I think. And under the sea, when he's welding about underwater
with Ariel and Flounder,
he sees the ghost of his father or something like that. I'm trying not to read too much about it so I don't spoil myself.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of, did he see it? Is he going crazy? What's going on exactly? Is this related to him becoming a father? So it's Father's Day, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah,
I'm interested in it.
Yeah, that seems really interesting. I know. I believe they're making a movie out of it in the next few years
with the old Ryan Gosling,
with the Goose Man himself. So, will that be the first comic book property he's taken on? He's doing everything now.
Yeah, I know he badmouths superhero movies a lot.
Yeah. He looks so good in tights, though. He'd be a good Booster Gold. I'd love to.
He would, actually.
Yeah. One day we can dream. But no, that sounds really interesting. I'll definitely have to kind of bring that up again when you read through it. I've been checking out a few things. Had some time before the old move. I caught up on all the episodes of Steven Universe, that Cartoon Network show. You've watched some of that, haven't you?
I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah. So that's a really great show. First of all, it's created by Rebecca Sugar, who she worked on Adventure Time a little bit. Wrote a couple episodes on there, I believe, and they kind of gave her this own project where it's basically this kid named Steven. He lives with this race of aliens called the Gems, because and it's going to sound completely ridiculous, just like this quick little rundown, but his mom was one of those Gems, like this alien race, and she met his dad, and they fell in love. And to give birth to him, she has to give up her form, like her physical form, because the Gems themselves, they each have different stones in them. Like you'll have one named Ruby, one named Sapphire, and that's the actual being. The forms they make are just their thoughts projected. So, but she gave up her life to give birth to him, and he has her gem now, and these gems take care of him and kind of raise him and to be a fighter and save the world from different aliens that are on there. And like I said, it sounds ridiculous, and it's a Cartoon Network show, so it's a little, especially in the first season, it's really wacky, just real weird humor. But as that show goes on, even in the first season, you get a sense of there's a huge story that Rebecca Sugar wants to tell. There's intergalactic war. It kind of covers these different themes of just all these characters are feeling different feelings of guilt for different reasons, either what happened in the past. You get a sense of there's a lot that his dad and these gems he lives with are telling him about what his mom was really like, and kind of how they ended up on Earth. And it's just him coming into his own and kind of accepting that should he try to be like his mom was because she was such a hero to everybody else, or should he be his own person? It's real. I'm on the fifth. They're on the fifth season right now. It goes on hiatus a lot, but to watch this and realize it's a Cartoon Network show just blows my mind, because there's some stuff in there that's not for kids, but I think there's a lot of good lessons in here. She also puts a lot of emphasis on music. I think I remember an interview where a lot of her reasoning for hiring some of the voice actors she does is because she knows they have musical background, they can sing and stuff. There's a woman named Estelle who voices one of the main characters, and I believe she was a singer. Not a hugely well-known one, but she's had a couple hits. So, yeah, it's interesting, and she uses music to tell a story, and they're great songs. So, yeah, definitely get back into it, Sean. Great show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You got anything else?
No, like I said, I've been pretty busy this week.
Okay, well, just a quick note. Gotten in on more DC Rebirth stuff. We talked about I talked about the Flash not too long ago. I need to catch up on that, actually. But I also read Teen Titans and Titans. They kind of exist together. There's a crossover recently between that and Deathstroke called The Lazarus Contract. It's really fun. I'm actually really enjoying Rebirth. I've got a few more titles I'm going to jump on board with, maybe Wonder Woman and Superman next. I'm going to keep up with all the ones that are, the ones I've read when they come out with new issues. I really actually enjoyed the Titans run. It's a team of like Nightwing, the original Wally West, the original Aqualad. It's a character named Omen, who I don't know a lot about, but basically she's like they call her like psionic, like she has psychic abilities, kind of like Raven, but a little different. Whereas Raven's like an empath. She gets her powers through emotions. She gets hers just through pure like psychic and telekinetic ability. So yeah, there's only like 12 issues out, but I actually do enjoy it. Art style's, it's good enough. Teen Titans is a little too cartoony, but I still, enjoy reading it. I don't enjoy Damian being in it though. He's such a dickhead. I don't know why people like that character. But yeah, definitely. I know you got pretty big into the New 52. Yeah. Are you think you're going to jump on board?
Oh yeah, I definitely will. It's been something I've been putting off.
Yeah.
I read the first few issues of a lot of stuff, and I really liked Superman.
Yeah, I heard it's really great. Yeah. Wonder Woman too. I think Greg Rucka has been writing it, and he's done a lot of good Wonder Woman stuff before now. So, but he's gonna leave soon. But yeah, I'm definitely keen to get into it. The only one I'm kind of upset isn't as good because I know I read a couple issues of it. Is Batman.
Yeah, it was kind of I think I read like first 2 or 3 issues.
Yeah. Tom King's on it now, though, and so I heard it's, it's a little better than it was. His writing is hit or miss for people. They're re-releasing The Vision. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they're going to re-release Tom King's The Vision, which is a great comic you've talked about before.
Yeah.
I've recently read it. I love that comic. But it's like a like writer's cut or something is what they're calling it. And it's going to be every like few months they're going to release a combined 3 issues into one, but it's also going to have like a few extra panels that, maybe he cut out that they're going to, finish out. Mm-hmm. So I might read it again when that starts coming out because I really love that story. It's only 12 issues, so definitely a lot of good stuff. Well, so you didn't check out a lot this week. What are you, you're going to check out Underwater Welder? Mm-hmm. Anything else you planning on checking out?
Well, just... we got season 7 of Game of Thrones coming up, so I'm gonna watch season 6, just get myself all caught up.
Yeah, do a little recap.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I really enjoyed the last season of that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Which, I still maintain there hasn't been a bad season of that show.
There hasn't been a bad
season. There's been weaker seasons.
Probably season 5, I would say, is the weakest.
You didn't like it when they went to, where did they go that one time? Dorne.
No. Like, you hear about this interesting area, like that's in the desert and everything. Mm. All you see of it is just like a beach and just like an arena type garden or whatever.
That's a really nice courtyard.
Yeah, courtyard is what it was.
Yeah. They dropped that immediately too. They're like, that was a bit of a misstep. But season 6 was really good. And we're coming to an end here. Bless you, Gary. He got so much furniture to sleep on now. He doesn't know what to do. But, yeah, I'd like to get into that as well. You start getting into some of these video games we talked about, Sean.
Oh, yes. Just you wait, Snoop.
A lot of these games were kind of, some of them were multiplayer. Would you not play these with someone? Like, if it was me or
I've already
Dylan?
forgotten the ones you talked about.
If I sat you down and I was like, hey, you should play this, and it didn't really require any kind of, like, practice, you could just go into it, would you do it?
I'd probably surf the internet on my phone.
That's fine. It's not for everybody. I get it. I'm still going to make you play some of them.
No, you're not.
Make you play that. Oh, yeah, new Dragon Ball Z game was announced at E3 as well. I want to check that out.
Yeah, it seems really innovative and a lot of fun.
Ah, shut up. But, yeah, it looks just like the show, which is amazing. Like, I don't know how they did that, but, like, that's all in-game footage you see in that trailer. So definitely check that out if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I don't think there's going to be a lot of characters, but it seems it's got like a Marvel versus Capcom vibe, which is like a like 2D fighter, kind of arcade style. I can get behind that, Sean.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I think that's all we got to say. Covered a lot of ground in this episode, even though you had a lot to get through, I know. So good on you. And we appreciate anyone who listened all the way through. Like I said, if you have any opinions about E3 and what your favorite games were, or if there's a game we forgot to mention, definitely let me or Sean know.
Let him know?
Let Sean know that you want to talk to me about it, at least. He'll pass the message along. But yeah, if you want to check out any of our other old episodes, do that. We're on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, sometimes YouTube, if I ever get them up there. They're hard to upload, I'm sorry. Also, if you could, leave us a review on iTunes or whatever other thing you can do that. We'd really appreciate the feedback. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong with the show. And, you find us on Twitter. I'm at Snoop_Lynch. He's at the first Sean. Send us a message, a funny tweet or two. I always look forward to that. And, just quick little mention, Sean. I forgot to mention this earlier. We actually kind of got a letter, believe it or not.
Finally?
Sort of. Hey, yeah. We've given her a shout out before, but I want to give her a shout out again. Hurley's, our friend Hurley, Randy's, his wife, Alyssa. She actually messaged me, and I won't go into like full details or whatever, but yeah, she basically said like she loves the show. She looks forward to any other podcast we do, and we always bring a smile to her face.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, and we really appreciate that. Like even just that is a great amount of support that we love. We love all the support we get, don't we, Sean?
Yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. So shout out to you, Alyssa. Hopefully you stuck through this episode with Sean and all his fun and innovativeness. And as for everybody else, like I said, send us a letter and join us next week for, what are we doing?
It's going to be, since we got Spider-Man Homecoming coming up, I figured we were to talk about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh, yeah, the original Spider-Man trilogy. Yeah, that would be really fun. We can go, I gotta watch those, actually. But yeah, definitely go over those. And after that, we got a kind of a full slate coming up. We got Baby Driver after that, and then Spider-Man Homecoming. And I think after that, we got War of the Planet of the Apes. Okay. Yeah. That makes my life easier. Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? And after that, we're stressed for topics. Yeah. So before we finish up here, I've been thinking about this episode we just recorded, and it was really innovative and a lot of fun, Snoop. Well, it was really fun for me having you here. Thank you. With such an innovative opinion. And on that note, let's never use the words fun or innovative ever again on this show. This episode was fun-innovative. Fair enough. Well, like I said, join us next week, guys, for that Raimi review. And we look forward to seeing y'all then. Goodbye. Bye. Quick, Sean, what's your favorite game that you saw? Forget them all. Name one. You can't leave until you name a game. Shuffleboard. Yes.